Hebrews. This is our Prophets of Awakening. It's our evening Sabbath class, 25th of September, 2021. What I'll be dealing with later on, we're not going to be on it that long because we went over so far over this morning. Ethiopia, the history of Ethiopia, just trying to connect some dots. I'm asking everybody to like and share, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification button. This is a non-Messianic channel. We're dealing with the Tanakh and the Torah. Tanakh is the Old Testament, and the Torah is the 35 books of the Old Testament given to Moses on Mount Sinai. With that being said, I want to say shalom and welcome to everyone. We're going to do our moment of silence, our evening Sabbath prayer, Psalms, and then do the current events. And some Q&A, then we do it less. Okay? So this moment of silence that we're doing is in regards to Yahweh and his Lord of hosts, Israel Redeemer, and all that they are doing to orchestrate our deliverance in these latter days. Oh Lord, we come this day praising thee and worshiping thee for thy might and power and thy great understanding. Oh Lord, the end times are upon us, saying, oh Lord, give us strength and wisdom to endure all that you have done. And we want to thank you for another evening Sabbath class that you allowed us to have. Give, O Lord, unto us the knowledge to rightly divide thy words, that they are delivered in righteousness and in truth. There is great confusion among your inheritance, O Lord, now that you are awakening them. For I know, O Lord, that your hand is sure, that your hand is firm. O Lord, we need you so very much in these latter days, and we will tarry and depend upon you, O Lord, because there is none else besides you, O Lord. You are our deliverer and our redeemer. Peace be unto you. Okay. Let me read the Psalms right quick. Okay, I'm going to read Psalms 82. It's a prayer for righteous judgment. It's a song of Asaph. It says, God standeth in the congregation of the mighty. He judges among the gods. How long will ye judge unjustly and accept the person of the wicked? Shelah, defend the poor and the fatherless. Do justice to the afflicted and needy. Deliver the poor and the needy. Rid them out of the hands of the wicked. They know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are out of course. I said, ye are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High. But ye shall die like men and fall like one of the princes. Also, O God, judge the earth, for thou shalt inherit all nations. Okay, so with that being said, anybody got any comments on that? Before we move forward.
Hey, Leonard, that sounds like a divine assembly to me.
Right. That's Lord of hosts amongst the other L's.
Right. That's what I got out of it.
Right, in verse 1 and in verse 7. Said, but ye shall die like men and fall like one of the princes. Talking about
is that because the other L's are judging unjustly, or they're not doing their responsibility toward the nations they was assigned to?
Right, that's the fallen ones. When you look at verse 7. Say, ye shall die like men and fall like one of the princesses, which are the fallen angels. So if you remember, if you go back to if you go back, if you go back to you go back to you go back to Psalms 83. I mean, not Psalms 83, but you go back to verse 7. It says, "For ye shall die like men and fall like princes." Go to Daniel. And you'll see what I'm talking about. So it says in Daniel, quick, in chapter 9, chapter 10, verse 20 says, Gabriel is talking. He says, "Then said he, Gabriel, knowest thou not where I come unto thee? And now I will return to fight with the prince, that prince of Persia," that's a fallen angel. "And when I have gone forward, lo, prince of Grecia," that's another prince, of Grecia shall come. Then 21, "But I, Gabriel, which is a prince, will show thee that which is noted in the scriptures of truth. And there is none that holdeth with me in these things, but Michael, your prince." So when you go back to Psalms 82, verse 7 says, "But ye shall die like men and fall like one of the princes." So the princes is fallen angels. Okay. Anybody else have anything? Okay. Anybody got any current events? No. Okay. Here we go. Okay, we was talking about that. Can you see that? Can anybody see that?
Yes, we see it.
Okay, it says evacuations in the airport closed. This is dealing with what I showed you about the supposedly this event right here is going to cause a tsunami. So it's saying 7 days after a volcano on El Pomo erupted, lava flowed and ash covered to spread, shooting down the local airport and leaving hundreds without a home. As of Friday, almost 6,000 people have evacuated. Okay, here go image. I mean, here go video, a small video of that. This happening as we speak. Okay, so it says the government is working to locate emergency housing for the affected families as researchers are unsure when the ashes and the lava flow will stop. Minister of Public Works, Transport, and Housing of the government of Canary Islands, Sebastian Franklin, announced Friday his department purchased 257 newly built homes. The homes will be offered to families affected and left homeless by the volcano eruption. There goes another image of it. But notice how everybody get everything, all their ducks in a row when it comes to everybody else but the Hebrews. Every time we come to the Hebrews, it's a problem. This here was so simple right here, but the people that's was under the bridge, the Haitians, they caught hell, still catching hell. Okay, and comment. Okay, got one more. Can you see that? Can you see that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. It says numbers game. 10,000 Del Rio migrants proceed. Link figures show how many were released. It says more than 10,000 migrants who were camped under the bridge have been processed by the Border Patrol agents since last Saturday as the Biden administration moves to clear out the site. Okay, I'm going to talk about that in a minute, but it says as of 5 p.m. local time Friday, 10,000 people who waded across the Rio Grande from Acunda, Mexico to Del Rio have had their information entered into a Border Patrol tracking system over the past 7 days, according to data reviewed by the Washington Examiner. Friday evening, more than 15,000 were on site under the bridge Saturday. Several thousand more are in the process of being transported hundreds of miles across the state to be processed at the Border Patrol facility that are spaced and agents available, including Tucson, Arizona, El Paso, Texas. They are not included in the 10,000 because they have not yet been interviewed or booked into tracking system. See that? So anyway, it says the Korea Department of Homeland Security officials who provided the data say 9,000 to 10,000 have been identified as having been born in Haiti, but many have not lived in the island nation for as much as a decade. Some 2,272 Haitians have been sent back to Haiti under Title 42, the public health protocol that allows the Border Patrol to immediately expel anyone who is illegally crossed the border, the source said. So, well, like I said before, they shipping all these people out and getting them all out so quickly because it's an uproar that took place. They got Black Lives Matter and all them people getting ready to come down there to protest, and they trying to get them out of there before all hell break loose. Because what they found out is that black folks ain't going for this no more. So when they saw that and they seen what was getting ready to manifest itself, which probably still gonna manifest itself, but they had to get the evidence out of there. That's the reason why they done it so fast. Okay. Any comments? Okay. I think you gotta connect your mic. You need to connect your mic, Cynthia. Okay. So with that being said, I'm gonna play this right here, and then we're gonna go into the class. Yeah, the reason I'm dealing with this Haitian thing because of prophecy. It's a big sign to me, anyway.
But this actually is a good thing for the world to see. And I'm speaking directly to the African diaspora today. I'm speaking to you. A lot of you seeing what's going on with the Haitians. I'm going to address a lot of you in many of this. I'm going to address you because it's time to start talking for real now. When you are a trailblazer and when you are a leader and when you have been the leader in the fight against white supremacy, there are many that look at us as we're too radical, we're too militant. You don't want to be like them Black Americans because you want to be in the good graces of massa. If you just go along to get along, and you come over to America and you just get a job, you don't say nothing, don't say nothing about anything, separate yourself from those Black Americans because you don't want to get with them. Maybe we can do something better. A lot of you love and pray to white Jesus in a lot of these other countries, in the Caribbean, in the continent of Africa. You pray to white Jesus. when the white man show up, you're raccooning some of you. I've seen that with my own 2 eyes. And understand, I'm talking out of love. I'm talking out of love. There ain't no hate. It ain't no malice. I'm talking about love because I want to help correct your behavior. What have we learned from the white supremacists with the Haitians? What have we learned? Some of you in the Haitian community, and y'all have told me this. Y'all told me to my face more than once that you are told by those folks, you're different, you're better than Black Americans. Some of your parents have came over here raccooning. And a lot of you have started to open your eyes up, but they told you stay away from them Black Americans. Don't go by them. We're different. Let's separate. Let's live away from them. And when you separate yourself from Black Americans, the people who've been on this soil for hundreds and hundreds of years, who know the white supremacists back and forth, front and back, you setting yourself up for failure. Some of you bring your tribalism from your countries of the continent of Africa, the Caribbean, etc. Your tribalism failed in your countries. It failed because if it was successful, you wouldn't have had to leave where you were at to come here. You want to bring your tribalism, and then now, when that 2020 census came out, and white folks are high on alert. See, the Democrat strategy is bring everybody in that maybe we can procreate with, and the child still come out looking white. Oh, let's go there. You can bring these Afghanistans in because we have some babies with some of these Afghanistan women, that kid may come out looking white. But no matter what it is, even to those divestors, you think you got an option with the white man too. The one thing the Black woman and the Black man have in common is that whoever we have a child with, we put our stamp on that kid. Everybody knows. You have a baby with an Asian, you know that baby is Afro-Asian because you can see them Black features. You have a baby with an Indian, a white, or whoever. So Black folks will never be the option to continue anything with the white folks. For them, it's about survival right now. Why you think they put in that abortion law here in Texas? It's about survival. They in survival mode. They know they're afraid of the next 10 years what's happening to them right now. So they cool with everybody else that maybe they can make some babies with to come out looking like them. But they don't want to put no African in here. No, they don't want no Caribbean Black in here. Now they'll take the mestizo Dominican in here. They'll take them. The mestizo, but they're not going to take the Black ones too much. They don't want the Black people in Latin America either. Because they got Black people that look like me and you in Latin America. Speak fluent Spanish. They don't want them here. One thing the Democrats and Republicans agree on, maintaining white supremacy. They agree on that. The difference with the Democrats versus the Republicans is that the Republicans say, look, we don't want nobody over here but our people. That's it. We may have a few tokens here and there, but we don't want them nowhere around anything. We are trying to maintain white supremacy and open white supremacy. The left say, well, we want white supremacy too. We get it, but we just think that if we can just include them and give them the illusion of inclusion into our system and thinking that they making a difference, you won't have them so hostile. So we need to include them. But anytime a Black person get out of line, Nicki Minaj, anytime a Black person get out of line, you see how quick they'll pounce on you with their racism. You come to this country, we know these people, and let me tell you something. I gotta say this. Just like DJ Khaled said, congratulations, you played yourself. When you separate yourself from Black America, you are a sitting duck. You are a target for these people. And they know it. You say you come over here to work hard. Let's tell the truth. Why is it not working hard in your countries? You abandoning your countries. And then you let the Chinese come over there, buy up all the land, take all the resources. They playing the next colonizer. You let the Indians come in your countries. You let the Russians come in. You know, the white man, well, he been in there. All the different groups of people, you're leaving, they're coming in. And now you're going through horrendous conditions. And then now you got to see the brunt of white supremacy. They have, do you know, that's the only border crossing that's shut down? It's the Del Rio one, the one the black folks are at. Do you know that? All the other ones are wide open. So they still flooding in, ladies and gentlemen. Jim Crow Joe have not changed. How did you expect an old white supremacist to change? You African-American black people, some of you Haitian black people, that was out there, yeah, we got to get him in. Roland Martin, you're Haitian too. You championing Joe Biden, you crying about black folks. Your people on the freaking border dying out there. Their 2 children have been born out there literally, and they don't care. Roland doesn't talk about Haiti at all. That's his people. What's that other one up there with Biden? Was that Corinne Pierre, whatever her name is? I don't hear her saying anything. Where's Kamala? Talking about we're a nation of immigrants. Kamala, where you at? You're supposed to be the border lady now. Where's Kamala? Where's she at? The Chucks and Pearls lady. The lady like Cardi B. Where's she at? The black girl magic lady. Where is she? This woman's been MIA ever since she got in there. Like, where is Kamala? Man, please send her emails. Say, Kamala, are you all right, sis? I mean, we need you down there at the border. We got Haitians trying to get in, and, you know, Jose been coming in, but they told Pierre, hell no, Pierre, you ain't coming in here. But you let Jose in? I sure did, but Pierre, you ain't getting in. Jacques, you neither. You're not getting in either. Well, no, not you. Matter of fact, come on, because I got a plane ride for you. First class ticket right back to Haiti. But I was at the front door. I didn't file for asylum. Asylum ain't for you. That's for them other folks.
Okay. Any comments? Questions or comments on what the brother's talking about? Okay. We'll let some more play.
Oh, man. Number two. You say she's laying up under Zaddy, huh? Well, I mean, that's the life she chose. She was laying up under Willie Brown, old downtown Willie Brown for a long time. What? She just, you know, Kamala, she was all about, you know, sleeping her way to the top. She did it. Oh, she did it. Congratulations, Kamala. Pan-Africanism. Let's talk about that. Pan-Africanism is a concept that was birthed on this soil. We understand that in our mind, we get it. If we were unified as a people all over the world and work together, we can get the white supremacists off our proverbial backs globally. We can stop the Chinese and get them off our backs. We can do everything together. But let's call it what it is. We have been the oracle of Pan-Africanism. And you've had a few. You had a few on the continent that believe in Pan-Africanism, very few. Some of them have been killed because of it. You had a few in the Caribbean too. But outside of those few, the majority of you reject Pan-Africanism as a nation or nations. you're still riding around with this tribalism, especially the continent of Africa. I remember when I went to Ethiopia, you got the country of Ethiopia with 80 different tribes. Why do y'all need 80 different tribes? Like, can you just come together as one? Let's work together as a team? Can we do that? This country got this many tribes, that country, this one, you know, and the crazy part is the self-hate is everywhere. Because, like, I remember when I covered the story out of South Africa about people getting pissed off that Nigerians and Ethiopians and Somalis were getting other jobs over them, but you still got the white folks taking everything in South Africa. I'm like, take that energy to them. Why are you doing it to other Africans? It doesn't make sense. And then you leave your countries and want to come here and practice the same thing that failed in your countries. You can't practice what failed in your country and then come here. It's not going to work, because what y'all don't understand and why your tribalism will keep you at the proverbial bottom. You are cemented into the bottom. Do you understand? As long as you practice tribalism and won't accept Pan-Africanism, you're in the cement, and you will not get out the cement being at the bottom until you adopt Pan-Africanism and really apply it for real.
Okay. Everybody know what Pan-Africanism is, right? We already talked about that. Can somebody give me a definition? Okay. Can y'all hear me? Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, we hear you.
What's going on? Can somebody give me a definition of Pan-Africanism? Anybody got an idea?
People of African descent that have a great deal in common.
Yeah.
Common
Yo.
interest, unification.
Yeah, just got to do with you know, all the blacks that came here and they're being oppressed all over the whole world, and what they're saying is unified to unify us together. It's Pan-Africanism is the unifying factor that's gonna unify them. Yeah, so that's what Pan-Africanism is. Yeah. Okay. And that's what he's saying, but you know, evidently he's not biblically literate before they go. Give me 1 minute. Okay, so what we talking about? Hello? Hello.
Talking about Pan-Africanism.
Okay. So yeah, like I said, Pan-Africanism is a idea, a concept that came about after Africa was raped by the Europeans and the Edomites. The people that's over here now had a lot to do with Marcus Garvey about bringing back, coming together as no matter what nationality or what your ethnic origin is as a black person, but coming together to all come together to go back to Africa and keep their focus on Africa, Africa being the focus. Yeah. Okay. So with that being said, like I was saying before, anybody have any comments on that? And what I'm gonna do while I'm here is ask anybody who have any questions or comments about anything before we do go into the lesson. About this morning or anything, if you want to get some understanding on.
Leonard,
Yeah.
I have a question. Is the Valley of Decision that's occurring in Joel 3, is that a precept to the Gog and Magog events in Ezekiel 38?
Yeah, it's Megiddo, same as Megiddo.
Okay.
Right. So what he's saying is decisions got to be made at that point when they get to when they get there and they see what's going on and see the creator and all that, that they've been set up, they got to make decisions.
Okay.
As a people, called the Valley of Decision.
And as a people, what type of decisions are we to make?
Not us, they is.
Oh, the nations. The nations.
The nations got to make decisions.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Right.
All right. Got it.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Anybody else got anything they want to know before I start the class lesson? We're probably gonna be out here about an hour. Okay. Everybody good? Shalom.
Yep.
Okay. Shalom, brother. Okay, so what I'm doing right here is, like I said before, I'm doing this video, sort of like the one I did this morning. It's on Ethiopia. It's a brief history on Ethiopia, and just by doing this, like I said, it killed a lot of birds with one stone. Exposed a lot of stuff. So here we go. It's the history of Ethiopia. Here we go.
Than 100 million people, the original home of the coffee bean, seat of the African Union, and a nation whose roots stretch back into ancient times. Ethiopia has been heavily settled, going far back into prehistory. Da'amet is the earliest known kingdom in this region, and was a contemporary of ancient Egypt and Nubia to the north. On the opposite side of the Red Sea, facing Da'amet, was the kingdom of Sabbath in modern-day Yemen. These kingdoms appear to have had close ties, and some even theorize that they may have formed a single kingdom. According to Ethiopian tradition, this was the home of the legendary Queen of Sheba. She converted to the faith of Solomon of Israel and bore his child to return to Ethiopia to rule as king, beginning a long line of Ethiopian kings who claim direct descent from King Solomon. The Ethiopian Church today maintains the Ark of the Covenant was brought to this ancient kingdom during this period, and is being kept safely there under guard for more than 2,500 years. For unknown reasons, Da'amat gradually eroded into several city-states and successor kingdoms around 400 BC. One of these, Axum, would evolve into the first well-documented great power to rise in Ethiopia, and was able to unite the northern Ethiopian highlands beginning around the 1st century BC, where they established bases on the Ethiopian plateau, and from there expanded. By the 1st century AD, they became a major player on the commercial route between the Roman Empire and ancient India. a notable Persian religious figure and scholar of the time, regarded Axum as one of the four great powers of his day, alongside Persia, Rome, and China. To facilitate this booming trade, the Axumite kings minted large amounts of gold currency that became widely used and have been found throughout the Mediterranean to India. Around 325 AD, the king Ezana converted to Christianity, making it the state religion, and was also the first state to ever use the image of the cross on its coins. Ezana campaigned against the kingdom of Kush to the north, as far as the borders of the Roman province of Egypt, and is believed to have been the reason for that 1,000-year-old kingdom's collapse. Included in his many titles were King of Kings, King of Saba, King of Salhen, and King of Himyar, which are all in modern-day Yemen, indicating that he either...
So notice how that they're talking about Ethiopian kingdom, and then he said, and next to it was a Kush. When you understand that, they putting them together, but Kush is brown skinned, just like I'm looking today at these Ethiopians. And I said, go back to the statement what the Most High said about the Israelites. Are you not like the Ethiopian under me? It's because they looked alike. Okay?
Either controlled or annex these kingdoms. Or perhaps they were merely tributaries. The kingdom of Axum would reach its apogee during the reign of King Caleb, who invaded the Arabian Peninsula in 520 with a vast army against the Jewish king Yusuf of Himyar, who had been persecuting the kingdom's Christian population. 5 years after installing a native Christian viceroy, one of his own Axumite generals killed the viceroy and declared himself king of Himyar. This general turned king, Abraha of Himyar, is mentioned in the Quran for his failed invasion of Mecca in the year 570. The rise of the Arab Empire would signal the decline and eventual demise of both of these kingdoms. Axum was completely cut off from any contact with the Christian Roman Empire and the vast revenues generated from Roman trade. The kingdom of Axum had a slow decline and began to contract back into the highlands. The kingdom of Alodia formed on its northern border and converted to Coptic Christianity and spoke a Nubian dialect, in contrast to Ascom's Semitic dialect and script, used since the days of Da'amat in the 9th century BC. According to Ethiopia...
I just noticed he said Coptic. I was explaining to you about the Coptic, which is they got those, they uncovered the Dead Sea Scrolls over in those Qumran caves in Qumran and on the Dead Sea, but they also uncovered the Nag Hammon library, which came from the Coptics. And the Coptic people are the ones that they took what the Egyptians was doing, and the Egyptians had everything. They were symbolizing the sun. They personified all the celestial bodies. They personified the sun and gave the sun human characteristics. That's what Horus is. When the Egyptians originally had it, they just personified the sun. And then the Pharaoh was the embodiment of that personification. But when these people here came and the Greeks came, they actually made an actual being, person out of it, which is who JC is, which was the original black Madonna and son, Black Madonna with the sun on her lap. That was come out of the imagination of the European mind, of the Gentile mind. That's how that started. And that's why the Pope and all them always going there and bowing down to that, because they know the origins of it. So these Coptic people, which is tied to these Ethiopians too, and these Coptic right here, that's who was being killed. Hundreds of thousands of them had to be killed because Constantine stole their ideas and their concept of which was where Christianity came from. So Constantine had to come in order to take the religion. He had to kill them all, because when he came in with it, they were saying, "What you talking about? This ain't no JC. This is, this is the Christ, the one that we concocted." So he attacked them. And he killed them all. That's who was in the catacombs. In the history of the story of the history of Christianity. Like I said before, the Israelite on the west coast of Africa, doing all this. So it's these Coptic Ethiopians and Coptic people that was tied, had a history of, that was tied to Africa, tied to Egypt. And that's who Kunsi was killing them. Well, every corner they twisted the history, and that's why you have to go in and write it back in order to get to the bottom, to the truth of it. Okay.
In tradition, around the year 1000,
a female pagan warlord
overthrew the kingdom of Axum,
laying waste to the land, burning ancient churches to the ground, and hunting down all members of the royal family of Axum. The last of her dynasty, which ruled over a much diminished kingdom, was overthrown by Maratakla Haymanot in 1137, establishing the Zegwe dynasty. Although some scholars believe this dynasty was established earlier, the most famous ruler of Zegwe dynasty was Gebre Lalibela, who constructed 11 churches, carved straight from a single piece of stone, and attempted to construct a new Jerusalem as his new capital, in response to the capture of the old Jerusalem by the Muslims in 1187. Despite the piousness of the Zegwe, they had one thing working against them in the eyes of many of their subjects. They did not claim direct descent from the biblical King Solomon. At around the year 1270, they were overthrown by a dynasty that did claim Solomonic descent. This Solomonic line of kings ruled Ethiopia for more than 700 years, with a brief interruption during the 14-year Abyssinian Adal War, in which the Adal Sultanate was able to annex Ethiopian Abyssinia with Ottoman help, only to be beaten back to their original borders by the Ethiopians with Portuguese assistance. The Age of Princes was a period in Ethiopian history from 1769 till 1855, when the country was de facto divided within itself into several regions, with no effective central authority. It was a period which the emperors from the Solomonic dynasty were reduced to little more than figureheads, confined to the capital city of Gondar, and local warlords fought each other for supremacy. This came to an end with the reign of Tewodros II, who re-established his dynasty's authority over the nation. However, this respite was short-lived, and he would commit suicide instead of being taken prisoner by a British expedition. The British would sack the Ethiopian capital and carry the Solomonic dynasty's crowns and treasure they had accumulated over the centuries back to Britain. Ethiopia.
If you remember the conversation I had, I told you that Solomon gold. We just saw earlier where they had coins from Axum and from Ethiopia all over the Mediterranean. Gold, that's Solomon's gold. Tied them to Amalek. So anyway, I showed you how they had they got the carriage. That's solid gold carriage, the wheels and everything, axles, all gold. That queen be riding in. And the bridle and the horses are raised in the gold. All that gold they got from here, and they got from when they robbed the Temple Mount. When they got those scrolls and found out where they had hid all the gold in those different areas under the Temple Mount. Nice temple. Okay.
Ethiopia's troubles were not over, and in 1874, the Ottoman-backed Ismail Pasha of Egypt invaded Ethiopia with the goal of creating an empire that would include the entire length of the Nile River. His sizable army included a large number of American and European officers. The Ethiopians had been working hard on organizing and modernizing their military since their experience against the British, and were able to utterly defeat the Egyptians in two decisive battles. The Ethiopian Emperor Johannes would die in battle against the Sudanese raiding force 13 years after defeating the Egyptians. His successor, Menelik II, would expand the Ethiopian Empire and defeat a full-scale Italian invasion. The technologically superior Italians were decisively defeated in a bloody war that they expected to be a casual affair. 40 years later, masterminded by the Italian journalist turned dictator Benito Mussolini, the Italians invaded again, this time sending an overwhelming force of approximately 500,000 men, 600 aircraft, and 800 tanks. Despite this, the war was still a long and bloody affair. The Italians gained little from the annexation and committed widespread atrocities against the Ethiopian population, which they never fully managed to control. Ethiopian Emperor Haile Selassie returned to.
Okay. Any comments so far? Got a few more. We're gonna close it out. Any comments? Okay.
Ethiopia from exile in England to help rally the resistance. The British began their own invasion in January 1941 with the help of Ethiopian freedom fighters. The last of the organized Italian resistance in Italian East Africa surrendered in 1941, ending the Italian rule. The Solomonic monarchy was fully restored after the war. In the decades that followed, Haile Selassie would begin to slowly implement democratic reforms in the nation. However, many blamed his.
Like I said before, I was saying before when I had this conversation a couple of years ago or whatever. See how this guy was plugged in there. They came in and wiped out. If you notice, they just said when they came and robbed and got all the gold, the king that was in place was mentally. It's a line of mentally that came from Solomon. But they came and got this clown right here, and they turned it over. He don't even look like them. See how he look? Just like I told you about my man over there in Ghana, W. Du Bois. Them white man preachers, and plugged him in there. And that's what I said earlier before. So see what he do? He came in and installed the same type of government and set it up the same way, democratic, to tie in with the British and the American and everybody else. Just like W. Du Bois got us food, he got them food. He saw pro with it.
Grasp on power for the slow pace of modernization.
During the Cold War,
Selassie
received the backing from the United States. And when widespread drought and famine hit the nation in 1974, the aged monarch was overthrown by a socialist faction in the military. They viewed Selassie as an agent of the corrupt capitalist West and united with Eritrea, forming a larger chaotic state that was plagued by infighting and disastrously planned and implemented socialist policies. Eventually, Mengistu Haile Mariam brought an end to the more than decade-long power struggle and attempted the creation of a state following the Soviet model. Famines and genocide in 1991.
So like I said, another thing too, you want to pay attention to. See the flag? See that? That's the sun. Sun worship. You can notice and start looking around, you're gonna see that. They telling you what's going on with them right here and who they handlers are, because of you know why the sun. When you track back and track back the sun worship, I mean, why you got the sun on your flag? What's the purpose of that? Okay.
As rebels
closed in on the capital of Addis Ababa, he fled and was granted asylum in Zimbabwe as an official guest of Zimbabwean President Robert Mugabe, where he still resides today at the age of 80, despite calls for his extradition. This was followed by a transitional government in Ethiopia, which drafted a new constitution allowing any of the nation's ethnic regions to secede if they ever wanted to. Eritrea did so right away. And the remainder is the modern nation state.
His son, same thing, raised his own mitzvah. I say he's the God of the sun, just like Horus, sun god
of Ethiopia. This has been Epimetheus. Huge thanks to all my awesome patrons over on Patreon who help me with this channel's expenses.
So, anybody got any comments on that? Any questions before we close out?
So, is it that the Ark of the Covenant is with the Ethiopians? Is there any truth to that? That the Ethiopian Jews have the Ark of the Covenant hid?
No, I wouldn't say so. But like I said, what happened was, it was when he dealt with Solomon, he showed Solomon that what he's getting ready to do, and that they wasn't going to be able to they weren't going to be able to sustain themselves. They were going to destroy themselves if he hadn't got rid of it. And so Solomon made a replica, because and then he brought Abimelech over there, and then he lived with him for just like I was telling you how Abraham went and lived with Shem and Eva. Jacob went and lived with Shem, and that's how the knowledge of the Most High was passed on. So we see what happened to both kingdoms, the southern and northern kingdom. They got wiped out. So the Most High had already had a plan, and he had sent the ark, and then the knowledge was sent away with mentally.
Right, because I know the Kebra and the gas kind of touches on it, but I have seen videos where the Ethiopian Jews are saying that they hold the ark with them and they are the guardians of it and whatnot.
Right. Well, like I said before, when you go back to Esau, I was listening on another channel this earlier today where a question was posed about how is it America, it's coming out now that China is almost bankrupt. It's about to do the same thing America did in 2008 with that real estate company. So when you come to find out, the question was that why is everybody going around pillaging everybody, but they in debt like America? How is America going all over the place, robbing everybody and doing their thing, but they $20-some trillion in debt? That's because of Esau. That's what nobody seems to understand. Esau the one they fronting. They ain't. It's Esau the one, the bankers. The Edomite bankers the one that's got them doing all that. And just like the president, they got him sitting up there like he doing something, but he's just a figurehead, a mirage to keep the people in line, keep the masses dumbed down. But Esau the one running the United States. So the bankers, Edomite bankers, that's who got all the money. Like I said before, the Rothschilds, they got over 2/3 of the money, wealth in the world. That's who got the money. They got these tentacles, and they hide behind these tentacles. Everybody thinking that United States this and China that. No, Esau, the bankers got all the money. The World Bank, Esau got all the money coming to him, and he got everybody else in debt. And so he mastered that. So what you see him doing right now is orchestrating a total collapse of everything. Then he coming out. He wants to rule the world for 1,000 years. He was the one behind. He used Hitler to cancel Great Britain to bring America in the scene. He used the British. He used the British when they canceled out Charlemagne to bring the Britons in. And then he came with Hitler to cancel out Britain to bring America in. Now he's using China to cancel America out, to bring in his last little ploy, which is China, the so-called China's Chinese government, the Yang ruling the world with the yin, whatever you call that Chinese dollar, one. So ain't nothing new under the sun. He's doing it. The people that we focusing on and trying to factor into the scriptures, they ain't the ones that you factoring in. It's Esau. So let's look at it and see why he's doing that and why you have to focus on him. So I'm in Malachi, right quick. So quite naturally, I was on mute, so I couldn't say nothing. So I'm over here in chapter 1 of Malachi, and it says, chapter 1, verse 1 says, the burden of the word of the Lord to Malachi, by Malachi. I have loved you, says the Lord. Yet ye say, wherein though thou love us, was not Esau Jacob's brother, said the Lord. yet I love Jacob, and I hated Esau. See that? Most High hated Esau, and he laid his mountain and his heritage to waste for the dragons of the wilderness. But this is what Esau said. Whereas Edom said, we are impoverished. They was impoverished at the time. This their motivation. They was impoverished at the time when Most High done this. But we will return and build a desert place. It ain't but one desert place. We dealt with that this morning. It's Jerusalem. It's in Daniel 9, 25, 26, 27. When our people came and made Israel the real location desert. So he says he's gonna come back, build a desert places. Thus says the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they will call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord have indignation forever. So you say, well, why are you saying Israel? Verse 5, your eyes shall see, and ye shall say, the Lord will be magnified from where? The borders of Israel. So my point is this. How is he going to be able to do this right here? How are you going to be able to return back and do all this stuff against the Most High? Money. He need money. And that's what these Illuminati bankers did. They didn't amass this big old thing, big old 2/3 of the world's wealth just to do this. And they right at the door right now as we speak.
So will verse 4, is that still to occur?
Yeah, that's still happening. Well, in 1948, they returned.
Right. They returned then, but
Right, but
they haven't yet. But the Lord hosted he would throw down. That piece haven't happened yet, right?
Wait, it happened. He threw them down. He ran them out. They came there and they existed there for from the time Antioch Epiphanes ran them out to 70 AD. Then he cast them out. But then that's just when they said, even though you casting us out, we're gonna return. And they returned in 1948. And so one of the things that dawned on me about that was, we know that in Isaiah, it says that the ships of Tarsus gonna bring them back, right? Bring us back, right?
Right.
Well,
yes.
How did they come back in 1948? In ships.
Okay.
If you watch the video, they played the whole thing out just like it, but everybody was ignorant at the time. Man, we ain't know when nobody talking about the black folks in America was the Israelites. Didn't nobody know that. But they came back in 1948 in ships. All you have to do is go to YouTube and Google 1948, the return of the Jews.
Okay, I'm gonna have to check that one out.
You're gonna see that all over. They came back, they got these big old ships of Tarsus. They got the whole world hoodwinked. So, and that's right here. That's all right here in what I just read. They said, though you run us out, you're gonna return. So the way they was able to do it was amassed all this money behind the scenes, stealing all the money. Like I said, they the ones gave George Washington. They the ones saved America America was going down. George Washington army had been defeated. And these Jews came in and gave George Washington the money he needed to supply the army and to pay the soldiers and all that, to get their morale up, and then they did what they did. Edomites behind it. And that's what so many people now understand. It ain't America. America ain't nothing but a pawn. Like these Edomites, bankers, they didn't want, and like I say, once somebody show you how they look, their features and their names, a lot of them had to trick their names off, but a lot of them you can trace by their names, but they can hide their character and they demeanor and the DNA. They can't hide that. And you can spot them. They all over the place. Like I said, the God that's in Hollywood is the God they dealing with, which go back to the Amorites. That's the God they're dealing with. Yeah. They making those covenants with you. I told you that summoning these demons and all that is the Edomites. That's who behind it. And when you start looking at it, you see it in the background. Oprah Winfrey is the Edomite behind that. Run DMC, all of them. When you trace them all the way back. Michael Jackson is an Edomite banker in the background. Same with America. There's a group of Edomites. It's Edomites that run the Federal Reserve, where the money at. Like they said, they care less about the nation or the people. Let me control the money. I can care less about anything else going on in the country, as long as I control the money. That's how they operate. So you ain't gotta just look for the money. And you're gonna see an Edomite sitting there with a big snarl on. Never fails. And that's who's dictating everything. Yeah. Okay. Anybody else got anything or questions before we exit? Anybody get anything out of this morning?
Oh, yes, sir. This morning was a great class.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, so with that being said, I'm gonna like I said, we was on there almost over an hour and a half this morning, a little over. So nobody don't have nothing else. I'm gonna close this out. Let me do this. Everybody good? Everybody good?
All good.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
All good.
Yeah. I'm gonna see y'all Monday at 7 o'clock. Shalom.
Shalom.
Okay.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom.